Craig, there are no. I wrote a letter to myself last evening about this. There are no right or wrong answers in relation to planning for the blended family, which is what you're talking about. That being said, each client needs to determine in her or his mind what obligations or desires she or he has with respect to each set of beneficiaries, that being maybe the children by a first marriage, spouse, second spouse, maybe children by your second spouse. In other words, what are her or his obligations to each set of these beneficiaries in her or his mind? And should I fulfill those obligations with life insurance, IRA, securities, home, furniture? How should I fulfill those obligations? And so every situation is different, and so there are no right or wrong answers. But this is the approach that an estate planner should take, in my view.
A lot of times we see, after someone has died, obligations that they committed to in their divorce from their first spouse are not met in their estate plan, and so you end up in litigation over what they'd agreed to in a divorce settlement, but didn't actually accomplish. Is this a problem that you're seeing in terms of the estate plan? I mean, do you look at what the divorce decree should have said, or do you actually think about how the divorce decree ought to be laid out and planned?
Adam, in my engagement letter, I asked the client to supply me with any relevant documents, such as a divorce decree from a prior marriage, a prenuptial agreement, if there is one. And one of the first items in the wills that I prepare in such cases is I got a divorce from my spouse in such and such a year, and there is a divorce or there's a settlement agreement in connection with that divorce. And I direct the executor to review the settlement agreement and to fulfill any obligations that I may have under that agreement or the prenuptial agreement. So, Brooke, I do like to see these agreements when I'm doing estate planning, so that I can refer to them in the will and make sure that the executor knows that there may be insurance obligations or other obligations which need to be fulfilled.